Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things under theory, common sense lens. And I am obviously have a little bit of an investment in Warner Brothers, right? At least as far as a fan is concerned, right? We've got the DC stuff coming up, we've got the whole revamp that's going on, and yada yada yada. And obviously DC and Warner Brothers as a whole has had some very serious missteps over the last few years. And I have long said for a long time that the film chiefs Pamela Abdy and Michael De Luca are the reason why. These people are schmoozers from inside of the Hollywood that greases all their friends, pet projects, and all this other kind of nonsense, and they have completely and totally pulled the wool over David Zaslav's eyes. These are people that should have been fired right from the get-go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Joker 2 and its absolute abysmal flop was the straw that finally broke the camel's back, because Zaslav is pissed, and these folks might not have a job anymore. And the funny part is the replacement, according to the rumor that's being eyed, is none other than DC's co-head, it's Peter Safran himself. So this is very interesting, boys and girls. I love the rumor mill, especially when it comes to Warner Brothers, because that place is leakier than a sieve. It is not even funny how much information we get out that almost ends up turning out to be true later on down the roads, which is why one of the reasons we enjoy covering these rumor mills out here. So boys and girls, we're going to check out this article from Bounding Into Comics, getting all of the juicy details of exactly what has been said and apparently how pissed off David Zaslav was about the literal $300 million flop he had just last fall. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Do you think this will be a good thing? Do you think this will actually be able to help Warner Brothers turn their ways around and get away from movies like the Batgirl movie, and then, of course, what happened with Joker 2? Do you think this rumors are actually true? Do you think there's any hope left over there for Warner Brothers? Do you think this is just going to continue to be mismanagement into hell for all eternity? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. If I can support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from Bounding Into Comics and our dear sweet JB Augustine. Rumor, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav is so unhappy with film chiefs Pamela Abdy and Michael De Luca, the DC Studios co-president Peter Safran might be promoted to head of the entire movie division. And that is crazy, because those two knuckleheads have had their teeth and their fingers and their nails dug into the back of Warner Brothers for a very long time. It's a miracle we've gotten anything good out of that company with those folks in charge. A recent report from an anonymous industry veteran stated that everything hinges on Superman. That same source also claimed Warner Bros. I mean, that's kind of a duh, right? If you can't make Superman work, like the head of your DC universe out there, you know, Batman and Superman, like heads of the DC universe, if you can't get Superman right, yeah, you're going to be SOL when it comes to the future of the DC. They say they've got all these things planned out, and there's a certain amount of stuff that's going to come out no matter what, but the future plans will be over if Superman tanks. So you better have done a good job, James Gunn, or otherwise it's going to be over for you, buddy. It's going to be over for you, buddy. Discovery chief David Zaslav is going to shake up Warner Brothers film division with a potential promotion that would affect the hierarchy of DC Studios. Dun, dun, dun. The source that spoke to Puck News said that it's true that Zaslav is salty about the performance of Warner's releases over the past 2 years. You think? I mean, can we point to a single thing that's made a profit over the last couple of years? At best, 1 or 2 out of like the 10 or 15 movies they put out over the last couple of years. Yeah, not really a great track record, is it? And guess what? At the end of the day, the buck stops with the studio, these movie heads. It's their fault. They're the ones that greenlit all these pictures. They're the ones that like gave good old homeboy for Joker 2 out there just free reign to do whatever he wanted without any input from the studio, right? And how well did that work out? Oh, he's a genius. It'll be fabulous. It'll be wonderful. We spent $300 million on it. It's going to be another $1 billion hit. Yeah, did it even break like 200 million globally? Yeah, not so much. Not so much. Joker for Delu was the last straw, and he made his displeasure perfectly clear to the heads of production, Pamela Abdy and Michael De Luca. Though the Warner Brothers spokesperson denies it, of course they do. They don't ever admit to any of this kind of stuff. But hey, all we'll have to do is wait and see if those two decide to depart from their time at Warner Brothers on very congenial terms, right? So Zaslav reportedly fumed at them during a meeting in New York where they debriefed about Joker 2 disaster. According to Puck and their insider, this incident spells the beginning of the end for the Abda De Luca tenure. Yes, please, Lord in heaven. Lord say the same. Lord say the same. Who will replace them is a question, but Zaslav apparently has the answer, and he didn't have to look far. Conjuring producer and current DC Studios executive Peter Safran was named the heir apparent in Puck's report. I mean, obviously the Conjuring series has been super successful. They've had like how many freaking sequels at this point? So yeah, the guy, if nothing else, he might not be the most creative, but the guy can at least pick winners and losers. So we might have a good shot here. Zaslav has been said as leaning towards replacing them with Peter Safran, the co-chair and co-CEO with James Gunn of DC Studios. But simultaneously, there are rumors that Zaslav will initiate a search for new leadership, which might not be the best, might not be the worst idea ever out there. It could actually bring in a little fresh blood as long as the person's got a good track record of actually being able to pull good movies off. That's the biggest problem. The quest for someone else would keep the status quo at DC Studios safe for the moment. With Superman on the horizon, they don't need any major shakeups as the movie is enough of a burden with everything internally riding on it. But if Safran does move up in the world, James Gunn might need a new partner to run the business side of DC. However, there's also an odd chance Gunn runs things by himself while Safran takes over at Warner Brothers Pictures. I really don't think that would happen. I don't think James Gunn would want to do that. Like, that was the whole point of having Peter Safran with him. James Gunn's the crazy creative genius, quote unquote, right? And Safran's the business guy who knows how to make sure that the money doesn't go outrageous and crazy. Yeah, I don't even think James Gunn would even want that responsibility, let alone would he be qualified for it in any way, shape, or form. The guy's a creative. Don't give him control of the budget strings. Like, we've seen what that has happened to Hollywood over the last few years. Yeah, don't do that. If that does happen, though, it will mean the duo winds up running the whole show, which could be very entertaining as well. We know that's not a comforting thought to a lot of our readers, but we'd still be an intriguing outcome for the sake of seeing how it played out. Yeah, there's a lot of haters out there on James Gunn, and you know what? For all the things he's done in the past and everything else, that's completely and totally warranted for a lot of the people out there. I, for one, am a DC fanboy. I want good DC again. I want good Superman. I want good Batman. I want good Supergirl. I want all of this stuff to be good. I want my Constantine 2 movie with Keanu Reeves to be really good. I want all of these things to end up happening. And this the Luca and Abdy couple, this little duo over there that's been running things for so long, is the reason why we were working on like a Black Superman movie in the past and like all of this other kind of nonsense garbage that was not going to work out in any way, shape, or form. And I just thank the Lord in heaven that Zaslav finally woke up to that, because I guarantee you if like Joker 2 would have done like $500 or $600 million or something like that, then these people would not be going anywhere. But that thing was such a major disastrous dumpster fire. I mean, it was an absolute flop. There's no denying that in any way, shape, or form. And guess what? Zaslav's like, I'm done. I gave y'all a shot. I've been here 2 years. Everything you put out, everything you've been greenlighting over the last few years, since before I even got here, has turned into nothing but a giant flop after flop, and it's just another disastrous dumpster fire. And guess what? David Zaslav is done. Homeboy is finally going to pull out the extinguisher and try to put the fire out that is the disastrous dumpster fire that is, of course, Warner Brothers in its current state. Whether or not it'll actually work and whether or not the new blood or who will end up replacing them can actually pull off the job and give us good quality content again, I don't know. But fingers crossed, and bye-bye to Luca and Abdy. It's been nice knowing you. Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. You won't be missed.